Hi, I'm Paul McVeigh. I'm the Jiu-Jitsu coach at the Griphouse Gym, and here we're going to be working some techniques for the Warrior Collective. Today's stuff's going to be all about passing standing, using the same grips and adapting to your partner's reactions. Okay, so first thing we're going to be looking for is, my idea on this is I don't want to let him get any grips on me. I don't want him to establish a guard. So I'm keeping my legs back. I'm going to be hand fighting. The two grips I want for this sequence to work on. I need a hand grip on his leg here, and I want a high collar grip here. From here, I'm going to be pulling him towards me to control his posture. And the one I'm always going to look for is I'm looking to cut an angle, keep his leg framed, and keep him pulling him towards me the entire time. But once I get here, my aim is to get my head to his shoulder. Once I'm here, I'm going to pull the collar and extend his leg and rotate him. So I'm driving him this way, bringing him down to the mat. From here, I cover and achieve a more standard side control. So keeping my legs well back, I hand fight, collar, ankle. I'm going to bring my head to his shoulder as I move my hips around. Here. From here, pull the collar hard, push his hips away, lock him down, and go from there. Nice involuntary noise. It's fine. Sit again, grip, grip, hand fight, move myself around, and take him down to the mat. So from here, take my grips. I'm going to cut the angle, get him down the mat, and that's what we're working for. So at no point does he get to establish one of his guards, so I completely bypass that kind of engagement phase. However, there are many things that he can do. Let's say when I take these grips, keeping my legs back, I move here, he follows me with his legs, like this. Okay, so set. I need to have the timing on this, so the grip on the collar becomes a push. The grip on the ankle, I just lift it past my body. That's why it's important to keep my legs back so I don't get entangled. I keep control of his posture, bringing him forward. I create this movement. As he moves, I pass his leg across, bringing the knee to the stomach. Hand fight, grip. I move, he follows me, and I'm looking for this. So his movement facilitates the pass. As he moves, I start to use that motion where he's kind of unstable to kind of bring the leg across so I can bring the knee to the stomach. I move, lift, pass to here. That's all we're looking for. Now the next thing he may do is he may try to throw his back to the mat. Now, if I take my grips here and I've got good postural control here, bringing his collar forward, it's going to be very hard for him just to put his back on the mat. If he just tries to lean, it's not going to work. What he's going to do is dig his heels in and throw his hips at me. Now, if I have these grips, and he does it, so take a grip, yeah, throw your hips back. So grip up on me, and pull your hips in. So you can establish this sort of guard, okay? But generally speaking, what he's going to be looking for when he pulls me into his guard is he's looking to get some sort of foot contact to my hip or to my leg. Now, I've controlled this leg, so it's going to be hard for him to do that on this side. So all I'm looking to do is X-pass as this leg comes into play. So he grips up, tries to pull himself towards me, I pass the leg. Okay? So it's a standard X-pass. So when you take these grips, you're looking to feel where the guy's going. When he starts to, when I start feeling him try to throw his hips at me, that's the cue to do my X-pass. So I grip up. And I need to be fast. I need to maintain my grips. So grips to there. One more time. I'll work from here. Now, depending on who you're training with, the final part of this is you might not be able to maintain the grip. He might get some sort of leg entanglements. What I'm looking to do then is I'm looking to force him into a bad half guard. So a half guard where he's not, doesn't have the advantage. A half guard where he's flattened out, where he doesn't have a lot of good stuff going on. So basically he's going to do exactly the same thing as he did before. I'm going to release this hand and look to punch an underhook as I sprawl my hips. So here he grips up. This is what I'm looking for. The underhook is here, my hand is pinning his leg, my hip is heavy on top of his thigh. From here, I'm going to drive my head up towards his, close this space, and put my hand on his leg. Now to finish the pass, weight comes forward onto my head, and I start walking this foot up. Lift it up, knee to the mat, collect his elbow,
take his head away from my knees, dragging my hip to the mat. Now if he still has my foot, I can release it and walk my hips back into his body to finish. Same deal, he pulls himself in, just dropping my weight on, digging the underhook, head to the mat. From here, once my head's up by his head, I close that space, hand on his leg, tripod, knee to the mat, collect his elbow, and I'm looking to drag my hip to the mat. Here. From here he's got a decent grip. I can circle my foot to start releasing it. Kick. Now if his hips are pointing towards me, I'm going to start walking back into, come to here. This side. So all that's happening is I'm sprawling this hip to the mat as I'm punching it under it. Keeping my leg back. Oh, this is what we're looking for here. Now I'm kind of vulnerable in this position for things like omoplatas and such. So as soon as I get here, I drive my weight forward, head to his head. Close the space, hand on his hip, tripod, knee comes across, I collect the elbow, start sliding out, kick, kick comes back. That's fine. And there we have, it's a sequence of moves based on your partner's reactions. You can never really play technique versus technique with someone because it doesn't work. If I can preempt his reactions, the likelihood of my success is going to be much greater than if I'm just going, I'll use your armbar versus this armbar counter. It doesn't work that way. It's the timing, catching him in the grey areas in between techniques. That's where you have success. If you want to learn more about what we do at the Griphouse, you can check us out on www, if that's still a thing, griphouse.co.uk. And cheers for watching, guys. Thanks.